having you here. In the beginning, I want to introduce myself for the sister and the brothers doesn't know me. So my name is Dr. Sara Kazi. I have doctorate degree in education, in organization and leadership. I'm really passionate about building young Muslim leader with strong Muslims identity. I am a daughter, a wife, and most importantly, a mother for three children. And this is the message and the goal of my life. This is going to be a four sessions workshop for parenting to teach you how to treat and raise your children. Each session is going to be connected to the one before. So please try to come to the four of them to get the best benefit of them. Today's session is under title The Blooming of a Leader, which is going to be the introductory of this session. The first and second session is going to talk about leadership, defining leadership in Islam. Also, we will discuss the core principle of building young Muslims leaders. The third session, we're going to talk about feminism and leadership and the role of women in Islam. Also, we will discuss hijab. Hi everybody, welcome. Also, we will discuss hijab and Muslims' identity. The last session, we will discuss puberty and leadership. So the last session, we will discuss puberty and leadership. And when we will discuss Islamic sexual education in raising our children. Also, we will talk about very important topic, which is homosexuality and how we can protect our kids from thinking. Let's get started. Bismillah. اللهم اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهه قلبي. This is our agenda of today. So today we will talk about parenting and leadership. Then we will define leadership and we will discuss what exactly leadership in Islam. After that, we will talk about the core principles to build a young Muslims leader, and I will teach you the skills and the talent to apply these core principles within young children. Today, we will discuss the age, kids from newborn until they're the age of 10. And the next week, we will talk from age 10 to 18. Before I start, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, إنما الأعمال بالنيات وإنما لكل امرئ ما نوى. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, an action or deed for a person is depend on his or her intention. And it's really important. Clarify the goal of our workshop of today. I want to achieve two goals. One of them is short term. The first one is help you to build or repair your relationship with your kids. I'm going to give you the tools and the skills to teach you how to build strong, unbreakable relationship with your kids. Second, which is the long-term goal and what everybody aim and want for their children. I want to teach you how to build strong and young Muslim leader with strong and deep-rooted identity. And you're going to hear me talking about the self-immune system. I want to help you to create a self-immune system within your children to know the difference between right and wrong and know how to act when you're not allowed, when you're not allowed, when you're not around, to save them from all the corrupt thoughts and the corrupt people that we live between them. Let's get started. I know you're here because you care a lot about your children. You love them. As I said, leader have defined the word leadership in so many different ways. However, when the word leadership come to the table, three important topics or questions appear with it. First, is leadership. Second, who is a leader? Third, are leaders born or made? And with all these questions you see in the picture, there are many, many, many definitions that came to the table with it. I went through a lot of the definition of leadership, and I have collected the most important point to make it simple and easy on you. And I can tell in a brief way, leadership is a group of skill and character that distinguish individuals from others when they act within a group of people or by themselves in their own private life. These characters, like integrity, vision, teamwork, effective communication, inspiring others, having goals, and more. We can go on. And a lot of those philosophers and writer and leader themselves, they paused on those definitions and came with a theory called a dilemma of leadership. And they kept asking, are those skills enough to build a leader? Is this way of building a leader is effective to have an effective leadership style to rule the world? And as a student for a leadership, and then an educator, and as a mother, and finally as a Muslim, I couldn't help but asking the same question. Is collecting a group of skill and teach it a person enough to build or create a leader? And I have reflected in our history as a Muslim and in our the great names that we have in Islam. And I thought deeply that Islam doesn't create leaders. Islam build a human to become a leader. And I thought deeply about the great Muslims character that we have in the history of leadership. Names like Khalid ibn al-Walid, Ali ibn Abi Talib, Salah ad-Din, Umar ibn al-Khattab. And a sentence keep clicking and whispering in my ear. عدلت فأمنت ثنيت يا عمر. Oh, Umar, you ruled with equality, fairness, justice. You felt safe. You slept under the tree. And even in Islam, the word leadership did not invent it to control people. It did invent it to provide a service for people, to help people to live in peace, equality, love, and spread kindness. And my thought always keep taking me to the greatest leader in the history, to the greatest man we believe in his message, to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, that man who well known by his enemy before his follower, that leader who lived his life as a human, as a father, as a friend, that great man who led a nation under two main elements: love to spread kindness, peace, and equality for others, and a deep belief of his message, which worshiping one God, which is Allah. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was loved or hated by his enemy because of his message and because of his leadership style. And this is the way to teach our kids And this is the way when we want to speak about leadership. Sallallahu ala Muhammad, sallallahu alayhi wasallam. All of these introduction, I was aiming to send a message to you. I want to reach a certain point of a view to talk about you as a human, you as a leader, you as the creator of the future leader. Islam did value leadership. Islam still value the creator of leaders. But I need to check on you first. How are you doing? How is the human that live inside you, of your heart? How is that leader that live inside your soul? Did you find peace in your journey? Did you find your leadership journey? You cannot make a difference. You cannot raise a leader if you did not find yourself. We're gonna prep that in the upcoming exercise that we're gonna do together. But first, I need to ask you two couple of questions. How are you? And who are you? You may laugh. How are you? Who are you? Let's start with the first question. How are you? Mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually? How is your relationship with Allah? How is your health? Do you exercise? How is the level of stress in your work? Do you have a system to release pain and anger? Do you handle disaster? How are you? Deeply in this question. Second, who are you? When you look in the mirror and you see your face and you see yourself, do you know who you are? Do you know your strength? Are you aware of your weaknesses? Do you know your skills? Do you have goals? Do you believe in your dreams? Who are you? Are you working to achieve what you're looking for? Think deeply about this question. We will answer those two questions through this exercise. I'm going to send you home with instruction to do in your own comfort. You need a pen and a paper. This exercise will, can you please spread this? This exercise will take 15 to 20 minutes. I prefer you sit down alone first, you think deeply, and you write it in the paper. After you finish, I don't mind sharing it with your husband or wife or your spouse because, of course, you're going to address stuff that connected to your marriage and your kid. The main point of this exercise is to reflect in two things: problems and blessings. I have spread some sheets. You can take it back home. In the left side, we have the blessings, and in the right side, we have the problems. Please take a deep breath and close your eyes and concentrate on the blessing area. Ask yourself, how many blessings I have in my life? Think deeply and gratefully. And if you say, I don't have any blessings, I'm sorry, I'm going to say, think again. After what we see in the last 3 weeks on the TV and what our brothers and sisters going through in Gaza, me myself, I discovered that I have a lot of blessing. I'm taking it for granted. For example, having food to put in my kid's belly in the night, sleeping under a roof and knowing I'm going to see my kids in the morning, being able to hug my children when they're alive and they're not pieces. Please try to write at least minimum blessing that you have in your life. Focus on it. Self in that pleasuring moment. Thank Allah. Thank Allah. Enjoy it. If you feel hugging your child is a blessing, oh, hug your child at that moment and enjoy it. Enjoy that moment. If you think drinking a cup of coffee is blessing, enjoy it. because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have given us a lot. And believing that you have blessing in your life will help you to be successful in the other section, which is it, your problems. Now, let's move on to the other section, the problem section. You have to depart the paper to two sections: problems that you can fix and problems you cannot fix. Let's start with unfixable problems. Write it down, think about it, reflect on it, and ask yourself, can I change it? If the answer is no, problem like death, loss of money, loss of anything, problem like what's happening with our brother and sister in Gaza. And I'm gonna tell you what my mom always says to me: collect all of your pain and throw it on the shoulder of Allah. And please surrender. Accept your humanity. Accept this is your destiny in life. This is what Allah have been written for you. And go to Allah, make a dua, and ask for help. Brother and sister, as a Muslim, we have something not a lot of people have. Knowing when the door is closed and when nobody can open any other door for us, there is a higher power that's waiting for us. That even if we not get rewarded in this life, we will get it in the other life. Not working? Sure. Testing. Sure. Going back to our point, feeling that there is a higher power that supports us will open the door where nobody can hear us or listen to us. It's comforting. It's making you live in peace. And please, and listen to me when I say please, move on. Move on. Accept you cannot change it. And when it's come to your mind, raise your hand to the sky and make dua and save your time and your effort to fix the other problem. Now we go to the other section, to the fixable problem. Write it down, reflect on it deeply, choose two. Let's start with two at a time. To solve these problems, you have three solutions. Yourself, go, Google it, read about it, try to fix it yourself. If you couldn't, go. Find a support system, a husband, a sister, a friend, a family member. If it didn't work out, go ask for help. Go to the specialist. There is no shame in asking for help. We are created in this earth to help each other. The most important thing that you fix the problem. Also, I want to mention, be patient and consistent. Be a believer that you can change it. You can change your pain. You can change your problems, but it's going to take a time. And finally, support it with the dua. Support it with your relationship with Allah. نعم المولى ونعم النصير. What a God, what a Savior, what a Lord, what a reference that we go to. نعم المولى ونعم النصير. To conclude this part of our session, I want to emphasize on a very important point. Islam does not create a leader. Islam creates a human to become a leader. And you cannot create a leader if you did not find yourself. And you cannot find yourself if you did not find peace with who you are and what you are, including your blessings and problems. Because we cannot create the leader of the future if we did not unleash the leader of today. Think thoughtfully about this point. Your kids need you. Moving on to the second part of this presentation. mission statement. When you hear the word mission statement, what is the first thing that comes to your mind? And now I want you to engage with me. I want to hear from you. What is your definition for mission statement? Describe it with a word, with a sentence. Who want to share?
So the personal mission statement is what I believe I want to accomplish, what's my goal, what's my target, where I want to head, and how to get there.
Awesome. Basically, you said what I want to say. So I wanted you to answer in a different way, but our smart participant here just, just spilled the bean for us. So mission statement in general or in professional definition is what famous companies or businesses or leaders have in their life. It's a goal or target mission. And the steps and the action you take to reach your goal, and you determine it in a timeline. And why we're bringing it here when we're talking about leadership? Because you need something called a family mission statement. Have you ever thought about creating a family mission statement? I'm asking you, do anyone here have a family mission statement? I'm glad that nobody has that. We can fix that. Family mission statement is really, really important. It's basically a plan, written plan for you and your family to determine the action and the behavior of your kids right now when they're living with you and also when they grow up and become an adults. Family mission statement is really important. Uh-oh. Somebody sent me a picture, please. Yeah. So, family mission statement is really important for so many reasons. Did it come back? Yeah. First, it open your eyes and highlight your attention, grab your attention on what's really important in your life. It's work like a family identity to distinguish your family from other people. It's like a guideline to tell you what to do and what you cannot do. It's really important because it's strengthening your relationship with your family and your kids by setting rules of treating each other. It shows you how to treat each other respectfully and have a lot of patience when you connect with each other. Also, it's help you to come together as a family, as one unit, to participate, to fix the problem collaboratively and effectively. How can we write a family mission statement? I'm going to go through the point, then I'm going to pass some paper and engage with you to teach you how to do that. First, you need to determine your purpose, your value, your principle. What is important for you? Write it down. Ask yourself, what is my sources? What is my background? I want to depend on what exactly? Then go back to your note. Highlight the most important things that you believe it's fit with you and your needs. Finally, summarize it, determine your goals, prepare your plan and the steps that you're gonna take to deliver it. Finally, determine the timeline. Share it with your family. A lot of the researcher and family experts support sharing the family mission statement with kids and play with it and make it simple for them to understand it. And we will discuss that in a minute after I finish the next slides. If you can help me, please pass this. So I have prepared this outline for you to help you write your mission statement. We will start together and then you will design it the way you want at home. You will have this empty outline. And I written the instruction here. First, why? In this section, you will ask yourself, what is the purpose of my life? What is the purpose of me having family? Then, who's my audience? I'm serving who in writing this outline? Third, what? You ask yourself, what values, what principle I want to teach myself and my family? And then you ask yourself a very important question, what background or stand floor I need to stand on to build this family? Finally, the time frame, you have to determine how much time frame you need to establish your goals and reach to your target. Let's do this together and answer the question. First, why? Who can share his opinion or her opinion? Let's go back. Why we're doing this? Why you're writing? Okay.
Is to be a guideline to what's the purpose for us being a family. And everybody stay the course to follow the guideline.
Awesome. Perfect, actually. It's great. Anybody else? Why you're doing this? Why it's important to you to write a family mission statement?
To give direction and purpose.
Right. To give direction and purpose to who?
Your family and kids.
Good. So I believe you have a mini idea of what you need to do at home. But each one of you will have a different way, a different definition, a different thought of how you should write this. I came up with this to be like a simple example or outline to carry on when you do your own mission statement, a family mission statement. For example, why? To build happy and connected Muslim family. Who? I'm writing it for myself, my spouse, my kids, my Muslim community, and the world. What is your principles and background? And I emphasize that you put Islam and connected also to your root, your culture, whatever it is, it's really important to mix between religion and culture. When? For me, I believe it's a lifelong mission. You could establish it by saying from my kids being newborn until the age of 18 or 19. And after that, write what you believe you want to write in the paragraph in the end. Go back again to it and go with your family and share it. As I said, researchers encourage sharing this with the children in a very young age so they can respect your rules in life, so they can participate with you in achieving this goal. And I went online and I just wrote a family mission statement. And I found this. You can go creative. You can do it by hand. You can engage the kids in it. You can write the family name in the beginning. And actually, the one on the left is one of my favorite because as a Muslim, I believe it's cover everything. It's simple, it's brief, and it's to the point. Can anybody read it for us, please? Would anybody want to share or read it? Let me read it. In this family, we honor God through faith and service. We think before we act. We work together. We show respect for others and ourselves. And if you go online, you will find many examples and amazing pictures. Also, you can frame this, hang it on the family wall, put it on top of the chimney, put it in a place where everybody can see and engage in it. Third part of this presentation, and it's going to be the last core of the last part of this presentation. The core principle of building leaders. First, unconditional love. Second, identity. Third, communication. If you go and do a research for the core principles for building a leader, you will find many. They are not limited under three. But I worked hard to came out with these three cores, and you will find every other principle or cores to go under these three elements. Next week, inshallah, we will go deeply in detail with these three elements, and we will talk about it in a different way. However, today, I'm going to teach you and provide you with skills to apply these core principles in young leader, in young children. Our target and at this session is kids from age 2 to 5. And this age is really important to pay attention to because it's the start of everything. They are in a golden age to prepare to create young leaders. First, let's go with the first point: love. Love, love, love. There is no word can express the importance of expressing love to your kids. Spread love in your home. Rule by love. Talk by love. Speak and act the language of love. Even discipline your kids by using the language of love. How can you show your kids you love them? Hug them, kiss them, show them that you care about them. Young kids grow by practicing love with you. You need to be in their life. Also, spend quality time with them. Play, joke, watch TV. Time for young kids equal attention, and attention equal love. They don't need anything else from you but love. And I have a deep belief that giving love and spending time with your kids is going to provide them with different type of passion and emotion. They will not find it if you take them to a care or a school in that early ages. I don't recommend at all sending a kids out of your home unless they are 4, because they don't need anything else at this time. They need to eat and sleep, play, and have love from you. Spending time with your kids will affect them because they're going to watch you, observe you, and you are going to have a golden chance to be that role model they will not see and have when they go outside in the early school. Also, when you observe them, watch them, you will have a chance to correct their mistakes. You will have a chance to see what they do wrong and right. I spend time with my 3 years old daughter, and I'm noticing something weird in her behavior when she eats. So she blow in the food when it's hot. And I really didn't know from where she got that. She doesn't go to school. She doesn't meet people like do that. And after spending enough time with her watching TV with a very famous show that's full with songs and colors and dancing, they teach her this is the way. And believe me, it's really hard to stop her from doing that because she thinks that her teacher, that the example that she need to follow. And my dear brother and sister, do not give out your kids easily to the TV. The TV and the TV shows and the social media and what they see is just destroying the nature of kids. In a way, you don't believe it. In a way, you cannot even imagine it. You need to spend many time on that show to understand the wrong messages they've been sending it to them. Next, communication. I want to mention communication is one of the important points in our workshop. It's actually the core and the heart of this workshop. Today, I'm going to go through it very briefly because we're talking about young kids. However, next week, we will go in a deep, deep detail of how can you communicate well with your kids, and we will talk about teenager and how can you handle and communicate them. So, for young kids, you need to do 2 things. First, create a family communicating policy. And this could be written in your mission statement. It needs to be clear and loud. For example, you teach your kids how you are solving problems effectively. So, if you say no, you need to explain why it's no. It's not no and that's it. No. You need to go and sit down in your knees, go to their levels, and tell them, I said no because of this. We are going that because of this. Also, if they do something wrong, you need to explain like an adult to them. Honey, you did this and I love you. Listen to what I'm saying. Use the language of love. I love you. I care for you. And I don't want you to do that because you're a big girl. You are a big boy. Use the language of love and discipline young children. Also, set a rule for conversation. It's loud and clear. We don't shout, we don't scream, we talk, we listen to each other. Make it loud and clear. Young children need to hear it from you, need to feel that you are believing in it and you're acting with it. Second important point in communication, be consistent, be kind, but firm. What does that mean? You need to have clear schedule for everything in their life. Time for bed, time for watching TV, time for playing, a place determined for even eating. Will create a future skills within our children to teach them that we have a system in our home and allow them to discipline you and listen to you. Also, use a method of reward and consequences. I don't like to say punishment, but I like to say reward and consequences. If they do something right, recognize that, thank them, hug them, kiss them, give them what they like, candy or gift or anything that makes them happy. And when they do something wrong, I deeply believe in the timeout methods. I'm not sure, are you familiar with the timeout methods? I will explain it just in case some parents doesn't know. Timeout methods, it's a minute per the age of your child. So if your child is 2, you put them for 2 minutes. You need to explain to them if they did something wrong. If they did not stop, this is a warning. They are going to the timeout place. You need to have a chair or a place made specifically for the timeout. And you need to put them there. You need to have a timer that they can see or hear and make it loud and clear for them. They're going to the timeout now because they did not listen or they didn't behave or did something wrong. After the time is done, you go to them. And this is very, very important point. You sit down on your knees. You go to their level and put your eyes in their eyes and say, you are in timeout because you did this. Please repeat after me. And they need to apologize and promise they're not gonna do it again. After that, and this is really important, you need to conclude it with a hug and a kiss and saying to them, I love you unconditionally, but I put you there because I want the best for you. Doing that, as I said, will establish a future habit and skill to discipline your kids and also build a strong relationship and a trust between you and them and help you and prepare you and them for the difficult time that's coming in the future when they become a teenager. Communicating with a teenager, it's not an easy thing and need a lot of patience and effort to make it successfully. Finally, our last point for today is identity. And identity is what we aim.
الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله أشهد أن محمد رسول الله هي للصلاة هي للفلاح قد
You want to go
قامت
to
الصلاة قد
pray and then we
قامت
come
الصلاة
back. We
الله
have 2
أكبر
slides
الله
left.
أكبر
So if you want to
لا
go,
إله إلا الله
please go.
استووا استقيموا